Hallo und guten Tag. While studying abroad in Germany, I was fortunate to be able to visit the country's capital city of Berlin. Now, you probably could have guessed that I wanted to ride a ton of Berlin's transit while I was there. And high on my to-do list was riding the newest section of U-Bahn mileage, or rather, kilometerage, on the city's metro system, which happens to be on the U5. Hey y'all, I'm at Alexanderplatz on the Berlin U-Bahn, around the U5 platform, so you're riding the newest section of the Berlin U-Bahn over to the Hauptbahnhof. So we'll get a train in hopefully a few minutes. First, let's get into some oversimplified history. Alexanderplatz, as you might be able to tell, is quite an old station, with the current U5 platforms here opening in 1930. The original line ran from here at Alexanderplatz east to Friedrichsfelde. In the 1970s, the line was extended east to Tierpark and was further extended to Erstewerderplatz and then to Hönow towards the end of the 1980s. The segment of the U5 I'll be riding is much newer, however, and it wasn't always operated as one line. In 2009, the U55 opened from Hauptbahnhof, or a central train station in English, to Brandenburger Tor, or Brandenburg Gate in English. A little over a decade later, in 2020, a new section of track and stations opened, connecting Brandenburger Tor to Alexanderplatz, resulting in the U55's absorption into the longer U5, which today runs from Hauptbahnhof to Hönow. As mentioned before, I'll be starting from Alexanderplatz, which also serves as an interchange point to the U2, U8, and S-Bahn trains. From there, I'll ride west, passing Rotes Rathaus, Museumsinsel, and Unter den Linden, all of which opened with the newest section of trackage in 2020. Passengers can change to the U6 at Unter den Linden, which is also a new stop for this line. Before the opening of Unter den Linden at the end of 2020, the U6 stopped at Französische Straße, which was directly south of the current Unter den Linden station. The old station still exists today, though trains don't stop here, and you can still see the old island platform by looking out the left side windows on the U6 between Unter den Linden and Kochstraße. After that, I'll enter the former U55 section of the line that opened in 2009, passing Brandenburger Tor, where you can change to S-Bahn trains in an older part of the station. Before the opening of the U-Bahn station here, the S-Bahn station was called Unter den Linden. Yeah, it's probably not a great idea to have two consecutive stations on the same line with the same name. So the U5 station got the name Brandenburger Tor, and the S-Bahn station was renamed to also be Brandenburger Tor. I actually almost released this video with incorrect information until I came across a YouTube short from Tales from the S-Bahn that covered the name change. So if it weren't for that video, my video would have been quite wrong, so thanks. Anyways, after Brandenburger Tor, I'll pass Bundestag, and then end up at the U5's terminus at Hauptbahnhof, which serves as a transfer point to S-Bahn, regional, and long-distance trains. Now back to me at Alexanderplatz. But again, it's a really nice station. I mean, beautiful steelwork, beautiful platforms. And of course you got the very helpful platform information with train departures, and an analog clock, because, hey, that's just how Germany does it. We come to Rotes Rathaus first, and it's very noticeable that it's much newer than Alexanderplatz. After a quick stop, we continue on our way along the U5. Our next stop will be Museumsinsel. So far, we've just been to Rotes Rathaus, and yeah, pretty nice station. We're getting off here at Museumsinsel just to kind of check it out, see what there's around. I'm expecting it to be pretty nice. Overall, beautiful platform. Yeah, extremely modern. They got these nice lights in the ceiling, kind of like a starry sky. I don't know, this is a pretty nice station. I mean, it just opened a few years ago. It's pretty new. But yeah, platform, 10 out of 10. I mean, you know, no platform screen doors or anything. flashing platform lights like DC. I mean, I'm partial to that, but yeah, pretty nice. And it's an island platform, so you got the other end of the stars here. And then we'll go outside. Nice wide open mezzanines, I'm a big fan. And of course, they've got the escalators, save energy, and when they're not in use, it's great. So as soon as you get off the escalator, you got the Humboldt Forum and the Berlin Cathedral. I mean, pretty good sightline, especially from a subway escalator. Pretty nice area though. So as the name would imply, Museumsinsel, Museum Island. We're right in the middle of the River Spree, which is, I guess, it runs through Berlin. But you've got the museums here, you've got the Berlin Cathedral, Humboldt Forum, all this cool stuff, and yeah, all waterfront too. So two very famous Berlin buildings, the Berlin Cathedral to your left and the TV tower to your right. And all this visible right from the subway entrance. So we'll be going back down, hopefully getting the next train towards Hauptbahnhof to continue along the U5. So what I didn't realize, but I'm noticing now, the U-Bahn is on that side of the river. And on that side of the river, there is you can kind of see the pedestal right down there after the bridge. So the U-Bahn station is underwater. So I guess it connects as a tunnel underneath the river for pedestrians if you really want to. The next station is Unter den Linden, and much like the other new stations on the line, it's quite modern and really nice. I'm a big fan of the large atrium-style design that stretches high above the platform, and of the clean design of the station walls that only add to the modern aesthetic. Brandenburger Tor is a very appropriately named station as it's right next to Brandenburg Gate. The gate is a pretty important landmark in the city. Finished in 1791, it still stands today after quite a long history. The gate was damaged in the Second World War, and when Berlin was divided between East and West, it ended up being right on the border dividing the city, and the Berlin Wall was eventually built right next to it, meaning nobody from either side could actually go up to the gate because of the wall's width and the restricted zone around it. Since the reunification of Germany, however, Brandenburg Gate has come to symbolize unity, and it is pretty cool to visit. After visiting Brandenburg Gate, I hopped back on the U5 to go one station over to Bundestag. The wait isn't long at all, as trains run every 4 to 10 minutes on weekdays and every 5 to 10 minutes on weekends. It even runs overnight on weekends with 15-minute frequencies, which is pretty cool.
Hauptbahnhof, Central Station. Zurückbleiben bitte.
So they've got these marquette seats. The doors are a little odd. They have these big triangle wedge things at the bottom. More seats, bench style seats, and onboard screens, which are very helpful. And of course they got these things. A stationary map.
Nach Hauptbahnhof, Central Station.
Station-wise, it's got these cool, light skylight pillar things. It's got some pictures along the sides, and these like mezzanine things. Very cool design. So if you don't know, the Bundestag is Germany's legislative body on the federal level, and they sit in the Reichstagsgebäude. So das Gebäude is the building, it's the Reichstagsbuilding where the Bundestag sits, at the station. And that is the building that I have not seen yet. I mean, I've seen it from a couple blocks away, but you know, might as well go to the subway station that's literally right in front of it. Alright, welcome to Bundestag Station. And this is why it's called Bundestag Station. This is the Reichstagsgebäude, and this is where the Bundestag, Germany's federal legislative body, sits to do lawmaking and stuff. After walking outside the Reichstagsgebäude for a bit, I head back into the U-Bahn station to ride the rest of the way to Hauptbahnhof. It's only a one-stop ride to the end of the line though, so we reach Hauptbahnhof pretty quickly. Alright, so we're at Hauptbahnhof, and got some more old pictures of, I suppose, an old train station. A very clear signage that this is the U-Bahn platform, not a mainline rail platform. Very important distinction. And yeah, overall very high ceilings, very nice modern design, and then again it's a pretty new station. And yeah, the mezzanine up towards the actual train station where we're going to change probably to the S-Bahn. We'll see. And of course, good wayfinding. Overall, the newer portions of the U5 make up a nice modern subway line, though they do run with a mix of older and newer trains. And while they don't have the historical charm of the older lines of the Berlin U-Bahn, the newer sections of the line provide good service to some of the most notable sites in the city, with clean, well-designed stations that really make riding the line a cool experience. So I definitely recommend taking a ride on the U5 if you're ever in Berlin. And with all that being said, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.